Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 278. It's Friday. It's Friday. Here in Cincinnati, the weather has finally shifted and it's beautiful, like cooler and beautiful. And there's a breeze blowing that isn't hot and sticky. It's just amazing outside today. It was one of those mornings where I had a long sleeve shirt on again, and it's just the best way to run. So yay to Fridays, yay to cooler weather, yay to weekends. Like, it's good. So we have some shifting astrological stuff that is happening. Mercury is now in Scorpio, and from what I understand, it stays there until the end of the month, and then it goes retrograde, which means it comes back into Scorpio. So Astro Mama had an awesome post that was describing just what's available for us, and if we step into it with fear, what that's going to look like, which is not good, or if we step into it with trust and love and truth, which is really good. So if you have a moment, I would advise you to check out her post and use that as some guidance for any rocky waters that may show up in the next few weeks. We are still in the sun sign of Libra, which I have been talking about incessantly. I love that word. It means nonstop. Incessantly talking about it because it's playing out so much in my own life, and I know if I'm feeling it, everyone else is feeling it too. Libra, once again, in case you are not fully aware yet, is very much about balance and equality and fairness, relationships, partnerships, the trust, the harmony within those relationships. And as we move Scorpio into Mercury into Scorpio, whichever way it goes, our communication is going to start coming from these deeper truths, from the feelings we really have underneath, not perhaps the way we try to make it look pretty and cover it up from above. The image I had was of the covers being pulled back and we're in our pajamas like, don't expose us when we're messy looking. That's kind of the feeling of what is shifting for us. So instead of being afraid, there's this way to honor the duality, the both sides of relationships, the sides that are pretty and that we post on Instagram and Facebook, and then the sides that are us not looking so cute with our hair messy, our mouth a little salty, not at our finest. We are all both of that. We're human. And so the title of yesterday was still sitting with me today when I was running. This idea of human dancer. We are human and we are spirit. We are dancing our way through this thing we call life and dancing our way in and out of relationships. And what I was reflecting on is how, within communities, within relationships individually, we move in and out of phases. We move in and out of relationships. Some people come into our lives and some people leave our lives, and then they come back, or maybe they don't, or the form of the relationship shifts and changes. And what I have found in my own journey is the more I tried to attach to something staying a certain way, the more resistance I felt and the more struggle there was, and the more it became a blow up. And then there's a definite ending. And so it takes a lot of internal strength and courage and faith to honor when a relationship is shifting or morphing, knowing it's perfect. Whatever it is that's happening, it's perfect, and it's a co-creation. And what you're bringing and what the other person is bringing is co-creating something that is changing. And that's good. Change means we're evolving. So for me, when I let go of a relationship looking a certain way, we kind of lean back into, I don't know what's changing, but it's changing. So we're just going to ride this one in the direction it's going and see what unfolds. When I show up in truth and love and presence as much as possible, and I'm still human, I'm a human dancer, so there's lots of times perhaps I could have been better or shown up more present and less in my mind. But when we choose to show up over and over and over and over and over again, it's like that song I posted in the Soulshine Tribe a couple days ago. Love again and again and again, and then love again, and then love some more. Love Again by Alicia Mathewson. It's such a beautiful song. When we do that, when we live that way, the relationships are going to come and go because our truth, our love, our steadiness holds space for the people around us to also continue shifting and evolving and changing. And so here we are. Why is this all rambling through me? Here we are in, the sign of Libra, very much about partnerships and relationships, moving into this Scorpio energy in the blah blah whatever. I should know more. In Mercury, which rules communication, there's the chance, the possibility that conversations are going to happen that are about our relationships and how they feel and what the structure and the flow is like. And maybe one or the other wants some things to change. And so how do we allow space for that? How do we pull back our own controls or ways that we think it should be and allow room for the other to have their needs met, which allows our needs to be met? It's like adding more breathing room into the center without having to keep everything looking the way we've known it to look. It takes a lot of courage to do that, because what may happen is the other person doesn't like the space or doesn't like the shift or isn't content with things changing and wants to hang on to what it has been. And so then there's some bumpiness or rocky waters that come up. So perhaps the lyrics from this song will guide you. I have long loved this song. It's a country song by Garth Brooks called The Dance. I love it. I love the voice, the vibration of his voice when he sings it. I love the harmony on it. I just think it's the most beautiful piece of music. So let me read you the lyrics and then you can feel into how this applies to you and why you've been called to listen to this episode. The Dance by Garth Brooks. Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared beneath the stars above, for a moment, all the world was right. How could I have known you'd ever say goodbye? And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have to miss the dance. Holding you, I held everything. For a moment, wasn't I the king? But if I'd only known how the king would fall, who's to say, I might have changed it all. And now I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. Yes, my life is better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance. When I was running, I heard that song in my head and was just replaying the lyrics in my mind. It's so beautiful because he honors how this journey of life, human dancer, like I described yesterday, human dancer, we are form and spirit, we are human and soul, and both are playing together, but our soul often is guiding us into the places we can learn the most, the places we can expand and love the most. the ways that we can show up in our gifts better, the ways we can come into greater truth and express greater love and let go of the fear. Our souls are guiding that, the dancer part of Human Dancer. And so I love how the lyrics just say it's both. You would miss the dance if you tried to avoid the pain or the under shadow of something. You would miss all of it. So isn't it better to just go all the way in? That's my interpretation. Isn't it better to just go all the way fully into life? He calls it chance. I prefer to say it's just co-creation. It's showing up in truth and love and just going all the way into every experience and every relationship and just showing up as present as possible. And then trusting whatever is co-created with other people, it's just perfect. And it'll lead to the next co-creation and the next co-creation. And if we don't like some co-creations, we can redirect our attention, our time, our resources into the ones that feed us and fuel us. And then our dance takes us in a different direction. And then we get fueled and we continue on a dance path that feels incredible. And so suddenly this whole new dance evolves. There's a great example of this in the physical world. Sometimes I think I share things here that are very philosophical or ethereal, and this example will be fun for you. When I was at the retreat last weekend, this beautiful healer named Meredith is one of the women that was putting it together, and she told us on Saturday, I want to share this thing called 5 rhythms with you, 5 rhythms of the heart, and she expresses it through dance. I won't get into what it is because I don't know enough about it to describe it. But there were different ways that the energy moves and flows. And so she was showing us each of those 5 rhythms. And she did it through dance because that's her medium, one of her mediums. And so we're all outside in this beautiful clearing in the woods with a lake. It's called Treasure Lake, with a lake right next to us. All these women, and it's sticky hot, 90 degrees out. Even though we're mostly in the shade, it was hot. And she puts this music on after showing us the different ways we can dance. She puts this music on and she says, okay, everyone stay within this general space, and you're just going to start walking and moving while the music is playing. Just kind of find an open space within the people moving and move into that open space, and then move around and just continue the movement. And then you start bringing in the actual dance with whatever that one of the 5 themes was, and each of them sort of changed the speed, the momentum of the rhythm of the body's movements. And so there were probably 40 of us, 30, 40 of us. We're all moving in this one area and doing these dances and sweating and laughing, sometimes making eye contact, sometimes, most of the time not, looking at the trees, looking at the grass, sweating, dancing, just in this contained energy field for, I don't know, an hour maybe, doing all these cool moves that there was no right or wrong, no rhythm. It was just co-creation, everyone in their own space moving in and out of the weaving of all of us together. I bring that forward as an example. Everyone is on their own individual journey, and it's way more fun when we're dancing with other people around us. It's not as much fun to be dancing by yourself. And when you see someone else dancing, you can, copy them if you want, or it inspires you into something else. And then we feel the group rhythm, the group heartbeat. And that changes the co-creation of the overall dance. It's just such a beautiful way to see life. We go into the open spaces and we move through them, and then there's another person that shows up, and then another one next to them, and sometimes we make eye contact and sometimes we don't. You can apply all of that to life, to how we walk through this journey as a human dancer. And so yes, the pain. I was doing this one karate chop move because it was the staccato rhythm. It was about releasing frustration and anger, and I didn't think I had that much in me, but I karate chopped for a good 20 minutes, and then I couldn't move my arms on Monday and Tuesday. So yeah, sometimes there's pain, and also I wouldn't want to miss the dance. I wouldn't want to miss this human journey. It is So precious and so powerful and such a gift. So I send you off into your weekend with love and peace and a big exhale if it feels like too much sometimes. Get outside, walk with the trees, maybe do some karate chops. Have a beautiful weekend, everyone. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me in aligning with the optimal health of your mind, body, spirit in the virtual community of Viv's Energy Gym. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.